Punisher's getting his special presentation.
Yeah.
We're absolutely going into the Defenders. After Secret Wars, you could bring a Wanda back. You could bring a Wanda back. I just don't think we're going to get our Wanda. She's been trying. She's having a heart. She's a mother. She's a wife. She lost everything and no one cares. And there's no therapy in the MCU.
Well, we don't need therapy. No one needs therapy. It's a myth. It's doing like this kind of AI glitching where she's like clipping through like the kitchen island. Like,
oh, no, thank you. That's terrifying.
And Vision, I am your wife. The Wanda we see in the show is just some Sora AI slop where it's just Wanda eating a bunch of like food and getting a big belly and then throwing up everywhere. Stop asking us to do that, White Vision. That violates our content policy.
What?
Wanda Maximoff still alive?
Rumors. Moon Knight returning in Secret Wars?
Rumors. Jessica Jones solo series? Rumors. This is the Rumor Rundown, where the hosts of New Rockstars investigate the wildest rumors that nerds and newsmen can't make heads or tails of, applying our own backgrounds in journalism and Hollywood connections, and finally confirming whether said rumors are honest scoops or bullshit poops. We are Eric, Voss, and Jessica Clemons. Thank you for dressing up. You didn't have to dress up.
This isn't me dressing up. This is my normal outfit. What are you talking about?
Oh, wow. Got in your Avril era.
This is because because this outfit's clean. Avril's was dirty.
Oh, well, hey.
She was rolling in
I don't
the
like
mud
your
a little
boyfriend.
bit.
So what? Think you need a new one? Hey, she was an angel put on this earth for us.
I think she's still dating T.I. Or not T.I., Tyga. I hope not anymore, but maybe she is. Look it up.
Free Avril?
Free. Literally, please. Girl, free.
All right. So we have New York Comic Con was a week and a half ago, but we record these so well in advance, and a lot of you guys are like, why the delay? And it's like, because we're doing a lot here at New Rockstars, and this is like, I don't know, we try to cover things as fast as we can. Shut up. All right. So our first rumor comes from a Redditor who we'll get to in a second, but this came into my feed thanks to Agatha's Bike on X.
I love that name.
I ride or die for you, Agatha Wanda Stans. I love all of you. Agatha's Bike, I don't really know if I can opine on what you mean by that, but she does ride a bike in the WandaVision promo. Remember the bling bling?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I was thinking about when she had the make-believe car, and I was like, oh.
The shoe boxes and everything. Okay, yeah. So here's what has been reported with all this Vision Quest news that's going around. According to this scoop, the ending of the series is reportedly Vision, Agatha, Tommy, and Billy learning that Wanda is alive in the finale of Vision Quest, something that we could see within the next 12 months. This comes to us from user Costas Pat 256 on Reddit. And I saw Costas and I was like, John Costa Burner? No, I don't think so.
I think John would come up with a better name that doesn't look like his actual name.
Yeah. And it's spelled differently. But this was a response to a post they did about pretty much everything we know about Vision Quest from this panel, other kind of speculation they had. And then in another comment on this post, this same user said that there would be a Children's Crusade tease at the end of Vision Quest. So this is just an anonymous Redditor. I was looking into this Redditor's search history or posting history. It looks like someone who probably watches New Rockstars or maybe thinks that New Rockstars isn't properly nerdy enough, but either way, our kind of nerd. And it doesn't seem like it's someone who's like a My Time to Shine Hello type. It's just someone who's a big fan of these things and is probably repeating other types of speculation that they've seen on the internet. But really what we're going to investigate is like, is it possible that this show, if it is promising to be a follow-up to WandaVision, and really the ending of the WandaVision trilogy, is it a misnomer to call itself that if it doesn't confirm that Wanda's still alive at the end of it?
What do you mean?
Like, is it unfair to even say we're the ending of the WandaVision trilogy if Wanda has no appearance at the end of the series?
I mean, in the worst analogy, Mamma Mia did the exact same thing.
Explain. I request elaboration.
You've never seen Mamma Mia 2 where she's dead the entire movie until the very end?
I thought that was Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2.
No. Okay, first off, I'm going to hit you. First off, you're about to get struck down by my own face.
Explain to us all the plot of Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
First off, I don't have enough time. I'm the only, one of the 30 people that loved it?
More than 30 loved
Lily
it.
James did not do a bad job. But no, I was like, the same thing kind of happened. They call it a franchise, but what's her name? Meryl Streep was like, I don't do sequels. fucking Here Comes Devil Wears Prada. You'll do that sequel.
Right?
You'll do that
stop her
sequel.
there.
You'll do that sequel immediately. But Mamma Mia too, God forbid. You get to dance and sing and be happy. Sorry, this is a different vibe.
It's hard. It's hard to dance, sing,
she
and
liked
be happy.
it. She liked it, and she better get back. I was so mad when she wouldn't show up. And then when it said she was doing Devil Wears Prada 2, I was like, oh, so you do sequels. Okay. All right.
Let's try to get into the premiere for that this May.
Dude, I think we could.
And then yell at her.
I think we could. And I
think we can walk right up to Meryl Streep, right?
Well, I will. I have a bone to pick with Meryl and her daughter. But no, I understand where you're coming from, though. It's like making it feels like what they were trying to do is kind of, I will say the hard part is coming up and saying, hey, we're going to make a trilogy for like Wanda in a series, and then immediately just kind of go off the rails with Wanda and other things.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard to stay consistent with Marvel Television and the MCU, because then in freaking Multiverse of Madness, we kind of just threw her all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then when they were like, yeah, we weren't really in talks with the people from WandaVision, I was like, okay, so what are we going to do with her series then? She has like 3, they called it a trilogy. They're like, this is all the arc for Wanda, and now Wanda's technically dead. But devil's advocate, I could see that trilogy still being like the heart of Wanda, because Wanda is at the heart of all of this. We wouldn't have got Joe Locke's character. We wouldn't have got the new Billy and Tommy without Wanda.
Wouldn't have gotten the Witch's Road without Wanda's chaos magic.
We wouldn't have got anything in this series. We would not have got even White Vision without Wanda.
That's
right.
It's
like Wanda is still there, and I think they're trying to just echo that piece of her that's still alive in the hearts of people. Whether or not bringing her, it sucks because I'm like, after Secret Wars, you could bring a Wanda back. You could bring a Wanda back. I just don't think we're going to get our Wanda. I also think they were leading up to that moment in the comics where White Vision's like, I don't know who you two are. Like, where White Vision is basically to the kids like, hey, sorry, I'm not the dad you used to have. My bad. I think they're kind of flipping that, or they wanted that to happen in the show somehow. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what White Vision's going to do in Vision Quest. He's going to confront the 2 boys and be like, I think you're my kids, but technically you're the other guy's kids, not me.
There is some kind of like biblical rationale here where like you could say that the real story doesn't begin until after its spiritual parent passes away to create that world. For example, Christianity didn't really kick off until after Jesus died and left the scene, and then Christianity took off. The Hebrews did not enter the promised land until after Moses died, and it was that death that made them the inspirational figure that allowed the movement to begin. So in that sense, Wanda's death made all this possible, and they're allowed to continue stories. Just don't call it, in my opinion, do not call it a trilogy unless you're going to bring Mother back, because it's like, then it's not. Then it's just spin-offs. Then you can say it's a separate saga, even you could say. Even like the story of Dune, which is in some ways based off of the biblical stories, it's at some point moves on from Paul Atreides. And I think it's okay to do that, but it's at that point a saga. It's not a trilogy. A trilogy is centered around one character, and I do think they owe it to the viewers, because really the heart of the fandom, the base, if we were to consider this a political movement, it's the people who streamed this on Disney Plus. It's not the people who just saw Multiverse of Madness and didn't watch these other shows. So you can't just kill off the character in Multiverse of Madness and say that the character is dead forever. Because, as you said, these shows would not exist without the Wanda ride or dies who are waiting for her return. So I think Costas Pat 256, you're one of these people. I assume that you're part of the coven, and we love you. We want to know more. I just think that it is possible based off of what we know. I mean, we've seen the footage descriptions of Vision Quest where it is kind of Wanda coded in some ways. Like they do want it to feel like entering a new Westview. So that would imply that whatever is powering White Vision, which was Wanda's chaos magic that was on that drone, it's still powering him. And how could it still power him if she's dead?
I think that's what they're going to probably explain in the show, is just her heart.
Yeah.
It's easier to explain to a child to be like, it's just her heart and magic. It's still there in the world, but she's not. She's dead.
Is that something, a theme Terry Matalas is interested in? Like, almost like Simba looking into the reflecting pool and Mufasa's still there. It's like, he's in here, and your parent never leaves you because you carry a piece of them with you. I don't want to mourn Wanda. I want to learn from her still.
Yeah. I don't know. Do I want a Mufasa? Do I want a Rose Quartz from Steven Universe? Because it's like, yeah, she was Steven. Steven was in her, and Steven couldn't figure out who he was, and he wanted to learn more about his mom, and then he learned that like all the stories he learned about his mom weren't actually the stories that were true. She was bad at one point. And so that arc was so beautiful to watch a child be like, I want to just be as good as my mom, but then learn your mom was actually bad. And I think that could still be Wanda, is like, when he did like realize like, my mom is Wanda, the woman that put you guys all in Westview, the one that like destroyed a lot of people, he was like, yeah, my mom is a monster, but also my mom is still my mom. Or like when Joe Locke's character started recognizing it, I don't know, I think there is still beauty in that way. And I do love that part about Wanda, is that she suffers from death so often. Just not even just Vision, not just herself, but now having actual death in Agatha. So I think you can experiment with death in a way that's like, what did they say in the show? And this was not even like a writer. It was like the writer's assistant came up with the line that like, love is just what? Grief persevering.
Oh, what is grief if not love persevering?
Yeah, what is grief if not love persevering?
I think that did come from Laura in the writer's staff. I didn't know it came from her. I thought she wrote it. Wasn't Jack Schaefer,
a writer's assistant is still a writer.
It was whoever was credited with writing that episode. Yeah. Jack Schaefer credited that writer with the line.
Oh, okay. I thought she said it was this person who I was like, oh, that was the writer's assistant or someone. And then she became bigger on Agatha. But I might be wrong.
She was a writer on Agatha.
And so I was like, oh, that's such a beautiful line. But yeah, I think that's what Wanda's essence is in the MCU's television shows, is like they want to approach death and talk about it through Wanda. But I think I'm not against bringing that woman back. Like clearly I would want that woman back. But I also think like if I want a cinematic television show, like what I saw with Loki, it was beautiful for him to realize like, oh, I have to do this. The Loki that was the idiot. The Loki that was so bad. The Loki that was not only a villain, but just kooky and stupid was like, I have to sacrifice myself. And I was like, oh my God, we might never see Loki again because he had to sacrifice himself. Yeah. I think we're just not happy at the way that Wanda had to sacrifice herself.
Yeah, and it wasn't something that was in the story. It was in a story that seemed to disregard so much of what WandaVision was about. Which
sucks. Which completely sucks. I just don't know how Marvel, and they will figure it out before I do, can go back and fix that. Like they fucked it up. I'm sorry. Multiverse of Madness, I think, did not do Wanda right. Loki did Loki perfectly. And so I'm like, it sucks that I want you to clean up the mess that you made. Fix it.
But they have enough open doors to fix it. We have a multiverse full of Wandas, and even that was a Scarlet Witch that I think their biggest mistake was insisting that Scarlet Witch was the same one who had lived through Westview. All they had to do was just imply that was a Scarlet Witch from another dimension.
That's true.
They
could have just been like, because a million Wandas probably lost their kids, to be fair. Like, I'm sorry. That's like almost a canon event for her.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's still a way that she could be brought back. There's enough there.
I think you can bring back a different Wanda. It just sucks to be like, yeah, my heart was with the one that was going crazy.
Yeah. I want the Wanda who's still back is the one who was in that Brady Bunch, Marsha Brady outfit.
Yeah, the one that pushed Monica through 40 walls and then almost killed her.
The one who had to like trick or treat and then like have a demonic corpse of her husband.
Oh.
The one who Too Many Cooked had a couples argument.
If WandaVision wasn't so good.
They
didn't
expect for it to be that good. And
if WandaVision was not so good, I would have been fine with how she went in Multiverse of Madness. But because WandaVision was like, no, you guys just killed a woman that she's been trying. She's having a heart. She's a mother. She's a wife. She lost everything and no one cares. And there's no therapy in the MCU. They refuse.
Well, we don't need therapy. No one needs therapy. It's a myth.
It's crazy. The cricket was cricketing, and now it got quiet after you said that.
That cricket was like, what did he just say?
What did he just say?
I'm kidding. Obviously, therapy's great.
Everybody in the MCU needs a good therapist. There should be a super therapist at this point.
So you heard Jessica here say it, that only characters in fictional universes need therapy. But what I'm saying is that everybody in our world needs therapy.
You see how he flipped
too.
that?
I'm just quoting
remember
you
what he said 5 seconds ago where he said no one needs therapy?
People don't remember that.
They're like, click.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people are also looking at what Terry Matalas is saying. Like he got to shoot a scene in the finale episode of Vision Quest that was like a Marvel dream come true, and I'm cautioning all of us. Do not please say that is a...
I'm going to assume it's Wanda. I'm going to assume it's Wanda.
We all want it to be Wanda, but it could be something as simple as, I got to reference...
No.
Iron Man 2 or something like that.
Look, I refuse. It's Wanda.
He gets to see a couple different versions of the Iron Man armor on set or something. That could be enough of a Marvel dream for somebody.
No. No, I think you're right, though.
Because the Raza actor's going to be in it. Maybe he got to like reshoot a scene from Jarvis's perspective from Iron Man 1, which is also kind of fun, just in a different way than Wanda.
The only reason I want it to be Wanda is because I want that, like, if White Vision's trying to retrace his steps and learns, like, oh, these are all my brothers, whatever. I'm sorry to not have feelings towards robots. sorry, robots. The only robots I care about are the poor robots that have to deliver my food on the road. Anytime someone messes with them, I cry. I literally sob. It makes me feel bad. But no, I think when he's retracing his steps, kind of like how I mentioned earlier of like being lost and not knowing who you are with Steven Universe, I think that's really something that could be for White Vision. If he's trying to figure out himself, he's like, the two people I really need to talk to are gone.
Yeah.
Tony Stark and Wanda. He's like, the two people I really need to get like an understanding from are not here. And if he digs deep into that little brain that was technically Wanda's, that little whatever chip that is technically Wanda's power, I wonder if he'll see a Wanda. That's kind of like how Wanda saw her vision in her little Westview. I'm wondering if like it's clearly like his impersonation of Wanda, but it'll still have the essence of Wanda. So they could have a discussion that's like, you gotta go.
But it's like a robot's interpretation of Wanda, so it's kind of doing like...
No, it's gonna be Elizabeth Olsen.
It's doing like this kind of AI glitching where she's like clipping through like the kitchen island, like...
Oh, no, thank you. That's terrifying.
Vision, I am your wife. Vision. Hey, sorry, I tried to research this, but this violates our content policies.
Oh my God. They're gonna have a breakdown. They're gonna have a nervous breakdown and go, you know what? Wanda was right. I should kill everyone on the planet. I should murder everybody.
The Wanda we see in the show is just some Sora AI slop where it's just Wanda eating a bunch of like food and getting a big belly and then throwing up everywhere.
I'd be like,
and then turning into a cat.
White Vision's a pervert, dude. He's crazy.
Oh, you know his Sora requests are like, stop asking us to do that, White Vision. That violates our content policies. So he's like using cryptic phrasing of like, but what if it's just like, you know, I'm not even gonna...
It's an adult cat.
It's very clearly an adult cat.
You don't understand. It is so big and old, but it's still a cat.
So big and old. White Vision, you pervert. We're okay kink shaming you non-human. All right.
Non-human.
We should move on to our next scoop before it gets real weird here. This is coming from Oscar Isaac himself.
That's crazy.
When he was on a red carpet. I know. We got him on the line. Let's roll the clip.
Are you gonna be in Secret Wars?
It's a secret, you know?
My boy.
Oscar.
Are you high?
Oscar. So what do you make of this? Do you think he's just messing around or he's like it's not confirmed yet?
This is a battle between what I want and what I assume, right? We got all these people that we know that are in Secret Wars. I'm trying not to be
that are in Doomsday.
Doomsday, sorry. No, wait. This was asked if he was.
This is for Secret Wars. This is for the later one.
Oh, he must. He must. I'm irritated if they don't put the random ones that we're missing in Doomsday in this one. Because in Doomsday, they're going to go, right? I assume not all of them, but majority are going to go. I don't assume all the X-Men are going to go into Secret Wars. So a lot of people go, right? That's when you bring in, unfortunately, I'm going to call them this. I don't mean it like this. The B team. And those are the people from the television series.
I have no idea. But here's what I'll say. If Oscar Isaac doesn't show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars, that's Marvel admitting that they fucked up.
Do you think
their franchise management?
I think you can, if you exclude Moon Knight, I'll only allow it if I need to see another Marvel television person in there. Like, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm like, if I don't see Oscar Isaac and no other Marvel television people, I'm going to be like, then what the f are we doing?
Well, if you have Monica Rambeau actually do show up in Doomsday, they kind of satisfy that. Because Monica Rambeau was a WandaVision character who was then in the Marvels, but she did start.
I want to see someone that's not in a movie. I'm like, I
who
need to see.
hasn't yet been in a movie, so Iman doesn't count.
Iman doesn't count, but like any of the people from Hawkeye, would I guess Kate Bishop.
Who she was in the post-credit scene for the Marvels. So
yeah, I don't count the credit scene since they're directed by a different person normally. Yeah. But I'm
you have the Thunderbolts, some of them started on shows.
Give them in there. I'm like, what are we doing? I would love to see a Loki variant. I would love to see the Loki variant, our girl.
Wyatt Russell started as a Falcon Winter Soldier character, and then John Walker's now
and then they got in the movies.
But I know what you're saying. Like Oscar Isaac was such a heavy hitter,
Daredevil,
such a big
Punisher,
name that we assumed would be in there.
Daredevil, Punisher, now Jessica Jones. I understand not putting the grounded people in there because you're in space. You're doing like heavy-handed things. But I'm like, if the budget doesn't matter for this, I'm assuming the budget does not matter for this. I understand that Moon Knight took a lot to get him to swap from being a human. Remember, most of the shots were like a reflection of a bus or a reflection of a mirror when he would change into his full outfit, because you got to get every strap from that like mummy little corpse outfit. Or even what's her name was in it? The Beetle, the girl. She could have been in Secret War. Sorry, I'm naming off a bunch of characters now. But if they are like, we're putting in so many people, we don't have enough money for the VFX budget for him. That's the only thing I could see them lying about.
I would say the talent fee. Oscar Isaac costs at least $10 million. He was in Star Wars's.
Finn's not worth $10 million.
I think Oscar Isaac's worth more. I think he's one of our most talented, most charismatic working actors right now. But in terms of like what role Moon Knight would have in the storyline, is that a role that someone at Marvel Studios is like, can we have like Alexei do that? David Harbour is just a lot cheaper.
That, and I think also their characters still play, like their story still plays to their characters. So like when we're bringing in, oh my God, we're naming every character. Sentry, we know the problem with bringing in Sentry. We're like, yeah, he can't use his powers though, or else everyone's going to go crazy and mad. And I think that's kind of, you got to have to still approach it with that, with Moon Knight, of being like, oh, he's still, we never got a resolution between him and Jake. Like if Jake takes over that body, if Khonshu's like, Jake, take over, Jake might not be helpful. So it's like, will it help the storyline? It's kind of how when they were thinking about Thunderbolts and they had Taskmaster, and they were like, Taskmaster had the same beats as Sentry, and it was this kind of story that we didn't really need, so we took it out. That's the only fear I have with Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's a big point we have to consider. The Moon Knight series, a lot of us remember for the aesthetics, for how cool that suit looked. But like the way it ended was like still very unresolved.
Jake,
you have this cab driver of Jake Lockley who's about to kill the guy. Like, what's going to happen there? We don't even know who Jake Lockley is. That's a whole other alter that we never met. So yeah, that's going to be who's in Secret Wars?
The only reason I'd be irritated also is if you made that jump and he's like, yeah, I actually am very cohesive. I can actually switch my bodies or switch my people as much as I can, and it's all healthy and great now. I'd be like, okay, well, I would want to see what happened in between there. Yeah. It's like when you show up with Doctor Strange and Clea again, I'm going to be like, well, I wanted to see what happened between now and then. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't think they're going to have the bandwidth or the budget to show us those in-between stories.
But I would get mad if they do the what if and they give us like Mahershala as Moon Knight. I'd be like, just give us Oscar Isaac Moon Knight.
Right, but they maybe that's my fear, is that like, well, we did give you more Moon Knight in the form of like a Blade Knight, so that's the most you're gonna get ever.
That's their hair. Damn, it's doing us in What If, which I don't mind it, but I'm like,
it's not enough.
Or it's not What If, it's Marvel Zombies.
Yeah. We know where you're at. All right, let's move on to our third and final scoop. This comes from Brandon Davis's Phase Hero live show in New York. That was after he hosted the New York Comic-Con panel for Marvel Studios or Marvel Television. He had Kristen Ritter as a special guest, along with Brad Winderbaum and Terry Matalas. But Brandon asks a good question of, when's Jessica Jones born again? And here's how they responded.
When's Jessica Jones born again?
Maybe sooner than you think.
There's a lot of stuff that I've felt there was room to explore, and Brad and I talked about it, and I'm not going to say any of it because we're going to be doing it.
So based off of the context, it's kind of hard to tell, but it seems like Kristen Ritter might have been saying we're going to be doing it as in we're going to be doing it in this upcoming season, or maybe the season after in Daredevil Born Again, like season 2 or season 3. And that's where those storylines for her, they're going to explore. But the premise of the question was Jessica Jones Born Again, like another separate Jessica Jones spinoff series.
I think she kind of understands that, and she's saying like, oh, we're going to get my intro in Daredevil Born Again that goes to her series.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
That would be, we were talking about this on the sneak peek on Sunday. This is one way they could do it, is just kind of resurrect these Netflix shows that worked, for a lot of people. Of all those 4 to 5 shows, it was really, Daredevil and Jessica Jones that were the most popular. They had, I believe, the most seasons of it. You are kind of getting Punisher in the mix as well.
Two.
Punisher had 2. Punisher had 2 seasons, but Jessica Jones had 3.
Yeah, Jessica and Daredevil.
And technically, Jessica Jones was the last of the series that came out in 2019. That was the last of them. So I think she does deserve a 3rd season. I think, or a 4th season. I think they could go there. Now, I think of all of our scoops that we got here, this one feels like the most scoopy.
I think this is the most scoopy, and I think it's actually gonna happen. I do think Marvel's recognizing like how popular those Netflix shows are, and that is the best bet for Marvel television, live action television. If we're staying whatever in the MCU, if we're doing the Secret War Doomsday, but we're also doing the X-Men, that's fine for the MCU. For television, grounded in New York, that seems like a great, easy bet. Like, just do that. We're already there. And it seems like they're pushing that way because, like, Wonder Man and Ironheart were thought about a while ago. We've been working on these. But now moving into the future, we're going to start seeing more Daredevil, Fisk, Jessica Jones, all of the Defenders. Punisher's getting his special presentation.
Yeah.
We're absolutely going into the Defenders.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real confusion there. So I'm comfortable calling Brandon's response to this question a scoop. This is a bona fide scoop.
I think it's a scoop.
Let's moving backwards to the Oscar Isaac thing. I don't think anything Oscar Isaac said here is like proof that he will be. I think he's just doing the tap dancing that a lot of these people do. So I'm going to say that this is a poop for now.
Yeah.
And then the Vision Quest ending, confirming Wanda is alive. We want this to be a scoop.
I want it to be a scoop, but it's a poopy.
Yeah, people are sharing it as if it was. I think the Redditor smartly used the word reportedly, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, so they must be naming some source." We couldn't find this anywhere. Even if Daniel RPK said this, we might take it a little bit more seriously just because he has a track record. We don't know who you are, Costa Spat 256, and until we do, we're considering this as a poop.
And I will say the fun thing about these rumors today are they all are fan base, which is like we all have the rides for Wanda, we all have the rides for Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight, and we definitely have the ride or dies for Jessica Jones and Christian Ritter. So these are all great, fun scoops, but only one is the shiniest of the scoops.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it there for this episode of Rumor Rundown. We really did run down multiple rumors this time. So hopefully you learned something here. Be sure to subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars Network. Follow Jessica at Lulu_Clemons. Follow me at EA Voss. And definitely subscribe to The Witching Hour. We've had our first 3 video essays came up. Jessica had a great video about the ending of Black Phone 2. And then coming up tomorrow will be Jessica's analysis of the 1992 Candyman film.
Oh, it's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
That movie... I don't think a lot of the things behind the scenes were legal, but they did it anyways.
Yep. It's such a great film, and you're going to love Jessica's video about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.